9 days. I've had about 2 days now to chew on all of these courses of action, possibilities, and of course talking to everybody I know, everybody that cares about this that I know about. And fortunately there's been an overwhelming show of support. And when I talk about the different choices and the different things that could happen, people have stood by and said, we support you, and we know where your heart is, and whatever you do, we'll stand by. And that's comforting, that's wonderful, and it helps me to keep my head clear enough to think about this as I walk into the court. But the reality is I have to weigh everything out. I have to weigh out even my call to ask all of these wonderful people to come and show support. I just went and visited my friend today who didn't have what she needed to live day to day, and brought a little something out to her to help get her through the next couple of days. And then I'm turning around asking her to drive 80 miles in a car that she can't even afford gas in to support me. And you know what? She gladly does it. I've got people who can barely afford, people who are down on their mortgage, can't pay their electric bills, and watch their savings just dwindle. And sometimes I think, how much can I tax these people? How much can I ask them to help? And I've kind of resigned it to myself that, I'm going to throw everything at this. Everything I can think of, and we'll see how it goes. That's where my plan is right now. But the reality is, if I can't get hundreds of people, if I can't get the people who aren't literally supporting everything I've been doing to come out and reach outside themselves a little bit and be able to say, hey, this is important for me today. I'm going to take a day off of doing the normal thing I do, or maybe I'll take a day off of work, or maybe I'll set aside that latte, or maybe I'll set aside that football game, or whatever the thing is that I might normally do, and make this important. If I can't get enough people to do that, I don't know how I can ask these same people to keep coming out doing it. So, I've really weighed a lot of my heart and my actions and the things that we've done. We've come a long way. We've spent a year since I was in jail, and the sacrifices, began to add up, and from people's savings accounts to their endless hours and thousands of dollars in gas and wear and tear on vehicles and time away from families, and all the sacrifice. And for what? We have to look at that. What are we going to gain from that? I believe so strongly that if we do this is like a blasting cap. Dynamite won't go off if you throw matches at it. It won't go off. You can throw dynamite in a fire and it won't blow up. But if you take a blasting cap, this little firecracker-like thing that's got enough pop to make the dynamite go, it will go, and it'll blow up whatever's in its way. And it could be a wall of prohibition if we let it be. But if we sit there and throw sparks at it, it'll never go. And so, my hope and my prayers and my dreams and my miracle that I could see happening out of this is that we get enough mobilization, that enough of these people that care tell enough people, and they tell enough people, and it goes like that blasting cap, like that nuclear detonator that's this little miniature bomb that has to go off for the big one to go. And I just know that we have that capability, that possibility, that potential. But if we can't realize it, I just can't see dragging everybody I care about through the mud to watch this travesty of justice occur. Can't see what would benefit, if there's not going to be an end game I can't see making everybody do this. So I'm asking everybody today to think about one person they could tell, and think about telling it to them in a way that they would tell somebody. You know, find a way to share a piece of this story, whatever piece that you think is important. Whether it's the human rights violation, whether it's the waste of tax dollars, whether it's the constitutional amendment that's being deprived, whether it's just the simple good and evil thing. You know, why do these people that have power and guns feel it important to shoot them? Feel it important to pick on people that provide medicine to other people. You know, this is the time this week. I got 8 days or 9 days, and if everybody was to call the DA's office, which I will gladly post again and again and again, and send them letters and send them emails and say, why are you doing this? You know, we're not behind you. This isn't okay. You know, the DA's office is already split. There's already 2 camps, and one says this is bad and Cooley's Kool-Aid is good, and we need to go after these bad people. And the other camp has some sense to them, and they're saying, you know, why are we doing this? Why are we pushing so hard on these people? A little bit of common sense is starting to echo, and if we were to approach it, and you know what, maybe if we told all the people that weren't going to come to court, let's do that. Let's say, I know people that care, but they'll never come to court. Let's get them to make a phone call or 2 or 10 or 20. You know, what if everybody made 20 phone calls and got that phone to ring off the hook? How many lines do you think they have in the Long Beach District Attorney's Office? I'll bet not that many. I'll bet maybe 2 or 4, maybe 4 lines they've got in there. It's a small office. We could blow that place up. Figuratively, of course, sorry, cops that are listening. We don't mean really blow it up. We mean inundate them with information, and we could overwhelm them. We could cause their emails to be full of thousands and thousands of emails, but it only works if it's coming from thousands of different people, and then they start to hear us. So if we can make that important, you know, I think we can have an outcome. I think if we write physical letters, if we write them today or tomorrow or Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday, they'll still get there. And even if, you know, it goes even into the trial, this can continue all the way until they finally decide, you know what, never mind, maybe we'll just drop this one after all. That's what the people want. We can make that happen.